Hey, what's up, everyone? On a location in apocalyptic or ice-apocalyptic Texas. Um, so yeah, this is a little bit different than normal. We're gonna talk about some Disney stuff and possibly the future of reselling.
Have you ever felt?
Are you listening? Damn.
Hey, what's up, guys? This is Shorty Resells again. Chantel. I'm a reseller. I sell on eBay, Poshmark, and Mercari, and Facebook Marketplace. But that's crap. On a location, I was actually on my way to drop off a shipment. However, I had to get some air in my tires, and come to find out, we're still stuck at the tire shop because there's a big ol' nail right in that tire that I literally bought like 3 months ago. So here we are, making it work. Anyway, what I do kind of want to touch on is there's been some talk about Disney and items and reselling, Disney resellers, whether it's banned or against rules, blah blah blah. Because there's some rumor that you're banned from buying or reselling, I should say, reselling Disney items. But to be truthful, since we're in the U.S., we have what's called in the U.S. we have the buyer's protection, which essentially is if I go buy something, I can basically do whatever I want with it. As long as it's legal. It can't be illegal, obviously, because that's a big no-no. You get in trouble. We don't want that. But specifically, I can go to a Disney park. There's not many Disney stores, obviously, because they closed them all down. Trying to go online and the whole, who knows, the decline of the brick and mortar store, so they're all online. But essentially, I digress a little bit. So I could essentially go to the Disney parks. I could buy an item. Ears, a purse, jewelry, any type of, Disney paraphernalia. I could go there and buy an item, and I could basically resell it for any amount that I choose. Obviously, yeah, I could sell it for like $1,000, but, I'm going to be an idiot, but because it depends on supply and demand of what that demand is for that item. So there's been a lot of speculation in terms of that as to whether it's legal, whether it's actually banned. And to tell you the truth, it's actually not officially banned in the U.S. However, it is banned in Tokyo. At Tokyo Disneyland, the park actually bans people from buying items and strictly reselling there. However, like I mentioned earlier, we have buyer's protection here in the U.S. So there are tons of people in Florida, all over Florida, that, they go to the Character Warehouse, they buy stuff, they go to Disney store. I've actually done it. I've bought a few things we have a local Disney outlet still, which I'm so thankful for. Not for reselling, but because I love Disney, so I buy crap for myself. But yeah, because the Character Warehouses that are actually in Florida near the parks, they usually get more park-specific items that come directly there. And it's more plentiful. Whereas the Disney stores, like, there's one here in Texas, I think there's still one in Virginia in Potomac Mills if they haven't closed it. They're few far in between. The ones that are farther, obviously, you're still going to get park merchandise, but it's not going to be, the most recent Christmas stuff. I know the one local to me is getting a lot of the 50th merchandise that they're trying to offload, obviously, because they're winding down the 50th anniversary celebration. I believe it ends in March, but they just started the 100 years of Disney, so there's a lot of new merch for that. So obviously, you've got all kinds of merch people are going to want. People are going to be buying it to resell it. And I actually, for myself, I actually use one of these people that lives in Florida. first things that I want, because there's some cool stuff that I want, so she buys them for me and she sends them to me. Now this actually first came to light a couple of years ago when they first started talking about Splash Mountain, retheming it, but I know it's recently actually just shuttered here at the end of January, but this whole it really came to a head because there was an influx of people who basically went into the world of Disney, and they had these huge bags, these huge Disney bags of the themed merchandise for Splash Mountain, like ornaments, plush, magnets, oh, you name it. They were chock full, they were walking out, and there was a huge uproar, huge, saying that it was all over Facebook, all over, obviously all over social media. People, they were in an uproar saying Disney has to crack down and you can't do this. You're a slime ball. You're a whatever. I mean, people can think what they want. I mean, me personally, I don't see anything wrong with it. I mean, you're trying to make. Oh, I hope that truck doesn't come down here. That would really suck.
That is, we're going to have to pause.
Yeah. Okay, so now that we have narrowly avoided the 18-wheeler, we're good. We're all good. So, anyways, like I was saying, the whole reselling. The whole reselling thing kind of came into the spotlight when they first, like I said, when they first announced the closure of Splash Mountain. It's, people, it was just, people I'm sure if you're not familiar or if you haven't seen, people can, pretty nasty on social media. And I mean, people were just, they were just beating these people to all. It was ridiculous. Like, just the nastiest things of these people. I mean, yeah, I get it. If you're doing that, you're trying to resell it to make a profit. Obviously, yes, but I mean, I think there is a fine line with it. I mean, if you're doing a little bit, then that's fine. But that's on you. I know one thing that they definitely were harping on is the stipulations of people who have annual passes to Disney. The language, as you say, you accept this pass to basically go to the Disney parks. It says that you will not do, blah 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 blah, use for profit, blah blah blah, and just making sure there's no more, because I heard some weird noises down there. I think there is kind of a clause in there that might speak to the reselling aspect of, if you're profiting on something in terms of your annual pass, because you get 20% off. I think it's, last time I checked, it was 20% off if you have an annual pass. So I think there might be something in there with that, but I can definitely tell you, at least at Disneyland and Disney World, and I haven't really heard about much of anything in the way of Disneyland Paris, but definitely here in the States, they haven't done, there's nothing, I got my tongue tied. There's been nothing to, quote, crack down on it. And I mean, it really, in Disney's eyes, if you got people coming and buying their stuff, why are they going to care? They're making the crap. They're making the most profit off of it. So if you're buying, 10 of one item, I mean, I think at this point, I think they've limited the item limits. Limits on certain items have been restricted to, 2 or whatever, but obviously there are ways around it. Certainly there are ways around it. But they haven't done anything else as far as that. And in my opinion, I don't see anything wrong with it, because I can't tell you I wouldn't do the same thing. And I know the people that I've used, obviously I'm not going to mention names because, they're who I use, so I don't want anybody knowing about that. They do me a service by doing that. They're taking their time. They're using their time, their gas, shipping, all of that. So I'm okay with that. In my eyes, that's okay. Because they're obviously not making a huge profit. Like somebody who were to go get for example, one of the most recent hot items was the Figment popcorn bucket. People went nuts over. Like taking that and selling it for like hundreds and hundreds of dollars. Trying not to get hit again by cars. Where was? Sorry. Car distracted me. I get distracted easily. So Figment buckets, yes. So yeah, naturally when they first came out, oh my god, people were going friggin' nuts. I know they re-released them again this year for farts. Farts. Festival of the Arts. I like to call it farts. So yeah, that's because everybody loves Figment. He's very popular. They're, recently bringing a meet and greet sort of experience back to Epcot because everybody loves him and Dreamfinder. But I digress a little bit, because I love Disney at heart. But they're speaking to the reselling in Disney topic. There was actually someone different who I'd used regularly to get things for some of the Run Disney stuff. That's a whole nother animal because this is merchandise that is, excuse me by the way, that's merchandise that is specifically put out for Disney's Run Disney events. Different, they're different Disney races, different distances. They do a whole slew of products from shirts, cups, bags, pants, all kinds of commemorative stuff, pins. And Spirit jersey specifically because Spirit jerseys are huge. I myself have a collection. But especially some of the Run Disney ones you can only get at the Run Disney Expo. So, and they have this huge queue, like massive queue where you will line up. And there was one individual who was basically, I didn't see anything wrong. Everybody who saw and knew her, she was very recognizable. And she was very hardly ridiculed for what she was doing. And I felt bad for her because I was like, she's just trying to get some stuff for people. She wasn't necessarily marking the items up to make a significant profit. You're talking a jersey, maybe a small markup fee because, again, you're taking your time, your gas, food, basically your time. Like, you can equate that part to, reselling outside of the Disney World. Okay, I feel, you feel justified if you're a reseller to mark up that item to a degree, because you're using your time, your energy, your gas to go from yard sale to a thrift store to wherever to get an item to resell. So, that's a reasonable expectation. If I'm going to use my time, I feel I'm justified, charging, having we'll say a minimal upcharge fee for an item, that encompasses everything. So, again, they went after her so bad. Like, I felt so bad for her. She actually went underground for a number of months, and there were so many rumors flying that, Disney had revoked her pass and blah, blah, blah. But, she was just trying to help people who weren't there, people who registered to run that race. They still wanted to do it, or if they were doing it virtually, because Disney's added the virtual options now, because doing a Run Disney race is very expensive. Very, very expensive. You're talking plane, lodging, race fees, and anything else related to said race. So that's a lot, and not everybody can drop that kind of dough. So yeah, I guess suffice to say, you know, they can't ban it because of, again, it goes back to the buyer's protection. But I mean, Disney they definitely do have the right to do that, but I highly doubt they're going to do that, because if people are coming in and buying their crap, that just means they can restock that crap, and it's just going to go like this, round in a circle, and they just keep making that money, because they're creating, it's almost like I don't want to say artificial demand's not the right way, but they're definitely creating a demand for that item. So, I mean, and obviously people who are reselling that stuff aren't going to make the kind of profit Disney's making on that item, because you got to figure the cost that it is for Disney to have that made and the price that they're charging. I can guarantee you there's going to be a bigger gap than there is for someone who's reselling, because they're going to have to buy that either without an annual pass, spending full price, you know, and I mean, Spirit jersey by itself starts at $75, you know, and some of your other more sought after items, like a big one was the Starbucks 50th anniversary pink cups that came out. Everybody went nuts over. And again, there's other things, but I don't know. I just, you know, mind your business, really. That's what I say. Mind your business. If you don't have something nice to say, keep it to yourself. You know, because somebody's doing their thing. They're working their hustle. You know, it's their business. You know, haters gonna hate. Don't hate the player, hate the game. That's just my 2 cents. But anyways, I will let you guys get back to your regularly scheduled lives. But if you have made it all the way to this part in the video, obviously you better be hitting that like button, hit the subscribe, and I'm going to be bringing more content like this to kind of, you know, spread the word. That's not the right way to say it. But basically, I want you guys to be informed. You know, I want you guys to know, hey, this is how it is. This is what it may be, but I'm going to tell you how it is. You know, because I don't like to play the mouse and cat game. I like to shoot straight. So anyway, I'm going to stop rambling. Thanks again for watching. Appreciate you guys. And don't forget, make sure to hit that notification bell, slap the like button, and smash the subscribe button. See you on the next one.